Wow. Hey guys, and welcome to today's video, and today is going to be my Burnley vs Chelsea review. And as I said, wow, I mean, that first half was some of the best football I have ever seen Chelsea play. Of course I said yesterday, let's make a statement, and that's exactly what we did in that first half. I said result first, performance second, and both kind of came into play. We both played brilliant football, but we also just got the result, and that is just amazing. So of course the lineup, I predicted that Courtois was starting goal. That came out a few hours before the game. Sky had it, and I think most people guessed that would happen. I was predicted that Weeks would start left back and William would start at number 10. I got both of those wrong. He stuck with the same defence as last year and put Oscar in a number 10 role wearing his new number 8 shirt, which was weird to see. The game started off very hectic and quite crazy because of course teams like Burnley, teams to come up, especially when they're playing at home against a big side like Chelsea, are going to want to prove something, and I think they did that very well. They definitely started off well with a high tempo and they got their goal, and I have to say it was really our defence's fault, just giving Arfield way too much space. If you give players in the Premier League that much time, or really in any league, they're going to take their chance, and that's what Arfield did. 1-0, and I think all Chelsea fans were head in the hands really. All those bad results we had against lesser teams, and that all came flooding back, but I have to say the brilliant response of Chelsea. Sean Dyche after the game said something brilliant. He said it was almost like when we scored it angered Chelsea, and that's exactly what it looked like. Chelsea just bossed the game from there on really. We got the ball down, playing it quickly, getting it out to Hazard, getting out to Schürrle, Costa holding the ball up well, just crisp passing. Fabregas, who's brilliant, but I'll talk about him in a minute. And of course the equaliser came from Cesc Fabregas. Really got the ball, done this brilliant back heel to Ivanovic, who crossed it low into the box, came out to Costa, who hit the ball as hard as he could and got his first Chelsea goal, and that is amazing. You could see Jose was pleased with it because of course the pressure of if we lost that game, and also just because Costa scoring, going to give him confidence, going to give his teammates confidence, and all of us a real lift, because now we have a striker who really leads the line well, and I think Costa did that. He never looked like he was lost like last season Torres and other strikers were in the past, where they just don't play a part in the game. He played a key part in that game last night and getting us back into it, when really if it would have gone a little longer than it, and maybe they got to half time 1-0 up, then we may have struggled. But brilliant from Costa, and then that really set us off. We dominated the game from there. And the second goal, Hazard gets the ball, drifts past a few players like he can, gives it out to Ivanovic, who gets the ball. I thought he was going to cross because Costa, I think, was in the box as well, but he somehow finds Fabregas. I mean, it's the thing all Chelsea fans and pundits going to think, how the hell does he see Fabregas? He had a player, I think, along the line, so Fabregas was just running in at the centre, and he dinks it across to Fabregas, who gets this brilliant pass, just amazing pass from Fabregas, who gets Schürrle, who's running across, and just volleys it into the bottom corner, and incredible. I mean, so at first I thought, is that actually a goal, or was it offside? And no, it wasn't. It was amazing, and that's a goal you have to watch over and over again. That's probably the best team goal I've probably seen Chelsea play. I mean, that's Barcelona-esque. He probably thought he was still playing at Barcelona, like Jeremy Carragher said, and that's exactly what it would look like. And of course from there, Cesc Fabregas once again having a part in really all three goals. From the corner, brilliant corner in. Burnley weren't really defending well, and Ivanovic just really had an open goal, and he put it in 3-1, and that was really game over. Flowing football, dominating football that we were playing, just brilliant. Some of the best football I've ever seen Chelsea play in that first half, just controlling the game and so slick and quick. And the thing is, you've seen other teams, big teams, who've struggled, and Arsenal on Saturday just couldn't really string two passes together, and it shows how well we've been playing together. And now quickly Costa and Fabregas has been brilliant. Fabregas dominated the midfield really, doing what he used to do at Arsenal, just dominating the midfield, taking control of the game. It was brilliant to watch Cesc Fabregas. The defence could get better. There was too many times, of course, the goal was the problem, and also I felt that in the second half, when we really just controlled the game and drifted like a training session, there was a few times they did get through. You've got to give some credit to Burnley. I think they pressed well and they played some nice football, but at the same time we had the best defence in the league last year. We don't want to let that slip. So for some others, Ivanovic was brilliant. I think it's going to take Azpilicueta time to get back in that team after tonight, because Ivanovic has been solid all through pre-season and had a hand in 2 goals today. Just brilliant at the right back position, looked composed, looked cool. People have been doubting him at that right back position, and I've always loved him because I think he's just fights for the team, but he seems to have improved that going forward. That cross to Cesc Fabregas, of course, is the standout moment, but just brilliantly he looked so composed, never looked in doubt at that right back position. And Azpilicueta is going to have to fight. Of course, he was on the pitch last night, but I think Luis is going to come into the team now, and I think Azpilicueta and Ivanovic is going to be an interesting fight. Ivanovic is definitely ahead of him at the moment. Hazard looked his best since he's come back from pre-season, which is good. He's starting to play well. So really all round, I mean, the second half, there's not much to say about the second half. I don't think there was really a shot. Drogba came on, which was brilliant to see, and he nearly recreated that Everton goal, took it down on his chest and just hit it wide. That would have been quite amazing if he would have scored. But all round it was just brilliant. So I also went on the Talk Chelsea FC Facebook group, and I asked after the game last night, what do you think of last night's performance? Just give me your thoughts, and I have to thank all of you for your comments, loads and loads of comments. And I'm only going to read out 10, because if I'd literally be here all day, because I also want to give some responses to some of these comments, really good comments, so let's get straight to it. Joseph said, great performance and able to win against defensive teams like last season. And I have to agree with that. Last season, that was the key part of why we didn't win the league in the end, and we definitely did that. Cesc Fabregas was kind of key in that last night. I mean, he was brought in to unlock defences, and that's exactly what we did. Dorman says need to be more forward thinking. I think what you're referring to is us in the second half. Definitely think we could have gone out there and dominated, but that will probably come later in the season as we get better, but I definitely do agree with that. Gabriel says have to put high pressure on the long balls and get to the second ball quicker. Ile says, I think Oscar, Hazard and Shirley need to feed Costa more. They have to create more chances for him. Costa really only had 1 chance last night, and he took it really, if I remember right. He only had 1 clear-cut chance and he took it, so brilliant. But I think next week, the Leicester game, I think we will see that more. And then Lingesh says Fabregas a magician. Totally agree. I also asked about man of the match, people saying Fabregas. Joey says everyone had a great game, impressed with Fabregas. That's positive again with Fabregas. Robert says awesome first half, I just wanted him to go for the throat in the second half, but overall very good. How good is Fabregas though? And he says hashtag amazing, and have to agree with that. Second in the second half, it did get a bit dull after it, and I was just looking at Twitter a bit, because we just drifted almost like a training session. It reminded me of the Real Sociedad game a bit, where we just drifted in that second half, but Fabregas was amazing. Max says our defence can be better, but other than that, a great start, totally agree. And lastly, CJ says the first half was actually banging, so totally agree with that one. That was a good one to finish with. But thanks for your comments, guys. Hopefully I will be doing that more. I'm also going to the Leicester game on Saturday, so pumped for that game. I'll hopefully have some video for that for you on the review. Also tonight on Google Hangout, me, Joe and Eunice, about 7 around then, are going to be doing the second episode of the Talk Football podcast. So go over to Joe's channel or follow him on Twitter. I'll keep you posted on that, so that should be good. But thanks for watching this video, guys. Brilliant start to the season. We ended the first weekend top, and hopefully we can end the last weekend top. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you again.